So what I would say is I feel like I have been painting the same painting for 40 years. But I use now a different language. My early work was figurative. I had lots of pictures of pretty young girls in theatrical settings where either terrible things were happening or beautiful things were happening. And over the decades, I have pared down those details. So I guess what hasn't gone away, so the details, the narrative, the story is gone. But underneath the story, the emotional truth, the internal struggle that we all experience as human beings, that I would hope you would find in these paintings. So I'm using this minimal language, 2 rectangles in a box with some kind of surface agitation. But for me, they represent emotional events, aspects. Some of them are really agitated, some of them are just calm as a quiet sea. And of course, colors always have a different meaning. So why I choose this language of expression rather than, I am a little nervous, so just, bear with me. I'll get going here at some point. So the reason I use this language instead of my earlier language is because I feel like I don't, well, Neil said it. We're all getting bombarded. I go into galleries a lot, and in some galleries, especially the art fairs, I feel like I'm just being screamed at by hundreds of artists. Look at me, look at me. And then every now and then I find a gallery or a show where I feel I can breathe. And so what I am trying to do here is not tell you my story, not tell you what these paintings are about. I want you to look at these paintings and find your story. And I think I'm more likely to do that with giving you less details. Because let's see, this painting for me is about, these are all about relationships. Now, they can be relationships with someone you love. It could be a relationship with your dog. It can be a relationship with America. It can be a relationship with your spouse. But where I was going was this painting is a balanced relationship, or a peaceful relationship to me. But when you look at it, I think I have found people will tell me what they see. And they always seem to get to the core intention of the work, but they have a different story. They weave their own story. And that thrills me because, and I'll finish up here, what I most value is building connection. So here we are together. Basically we're trying to connect or have some kind of understanding. And if my paintings if anyone here for even a moment can look at the painting and feel connected, then that is a great success. And I think that's what the arts are all about, building connection. If it's a film, dance, knitting a cap for a newborn, making a great meal, it's about building connection. So that's kind of mine. And so less is more, because I'm using the simplest language to build the greatest connection that I can.
Francie, yeah.
So I think I'm trying to get to the complexity of these things. Like they don't the cup isn't half full or half empty. It's both half full and half empty, or today it's a quarter full and 3/4 empty. Tomorrow it's all full and there's no emptiness. It's an evolving situation. Each of us has what is beautiful to me is not beautiful to someone else here. It could be horrific to someone else here. And so, but I would say my paintings, I feel like my painting is done when it has achieved a certain balance. And that's your word.
And I would go further than that to embellish the idea of balance, harmony.
Yes. Within the disharmony, like the painting behind you, there's a lot of disharmony in that painting. There's a lot of violence and action. The colors are different. The lines are agitated. But there is some balance. And so that's when I knew it was done. Because I'm into looking at differences and seeing them as not an either or, but an and. So that means that, yes, I paint for myself first and foremost, always. Yet, lately I've been feeling very passionately about this. I feel that our culture, our planet is in trouble. And I have come to realize that it's just painting for myself is maybe a failure of vision for me, because I am starting to think that we have to think of ourselves as a team, almost as warriors. I know I'm going to sound a little crazy, but there is like culture warriors. We have collectors here, we have artists here, we have people who just love to look at art, who love movies, love to dance alone in the kitchen, whatever. We are engaged in the arts, and there is a battle kind of for the soul of, I know I'm exaggerating, but for humanity. And I think that's why it can't just be work for me. It has to be for us. And we all have to get out there and do what we can for the arts. Whether it's making art, collecting art, streaming movies on Netflix, enjoying art. We are part of an important community that is fighting for something together. And so, yes, I make it for myself, but I make it for all of us. And that's why I want us to connect. Because if we don't see ourselves as a community, then the battle is kind of lost, because I can't fight what's going on alone. We have to fight together for something.